Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Milos' story. We are picking up the day after the events that last happened. As Milos, you awaken, but we're going to find out, based on how much what just happened and your exposure to another plane, I'd like you to roll me a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw. Now I have to make sure my sorry, I have to make sure my D&D Beyond is actually
No worries.
hooked up to. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. uh, well, that's a natural 20.
That tells the story all by itself, I believe. Okay. So you wake up on time with no worry of missing class or anything else. You head to breakfast, I assume.
Yeah, breakfast is important.
Let's see. You gain 9 temporary hit points.
Delicious. What
As
is the food?
breakfast today is what seems to be poached eggs with steak, various assortments of toast and fruit, and heaps of scalloped potatoes.
Yeah, definitely gonna hit that real hard. Sounds delicious.
Yeah. You feel
Very
fortified.
happy with it.
Yeah.
So that's. Did you say 9
Yes.
temp? Okay, cool. A great start to the day. He's very cheerful when he turns up to class.
Makes sense. When you enter the classroom, you find Dog and Elise getting ready for today's lesson. And as you enter, Elise looks at you and says, "Good morning, Milos. I had
Morning.
a very interesting staff meeting last night."
Uh, uh-oh. Interesting how?
Well, for one thing, Tabernac was both impressed and concerned for your soul, um, as you did project into the plane of Earth, if I recall,
Yes.
and you were there for a long time.
Yeah, I guess it was a while. I mean, time felt a little weird while I was there, but you could definitely tell it was a while.
Before anything else, I just need to know, do you feel any tingling sensations? Any as if you may have sat on your leg wrong, or as if a limb has fallen asleep? Do you feel that anywhere?
No, feel okay.
Good.
Feel pretty good, actually.
Then I assume your travels in the Earth plane were not uneventful, but safe. You didn't come across any harm.
Ah, I mean, yeah. I mean, there were a couple of things that happened that were weird, but I think I came out of it okay.
Good. Good. Now, today, both of you are going to join me as we are going to go over your inner strengths and we are going to unlock your next gift from your patron. Mechanically, you are going to level up and choose your Eldritch Invocation.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Level up.
Level up. Milos is now level 2.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to manage levels then.
Go ahead.
Ah! Level 2, level 2. Where the fuck is the button? It's been so long since I did this. Here we go. Okay, level 2.
As you are sitting there in the classroom and Dog is looking over at you and at Elise, Elise continues and she stands up and she actually heads over towards not the bookcase, but she's like walking between the paintings that are on the wall. And she says, "For every contractee, you will choose... Well, I'm sorry. For every contractee, the powers that are granted to them are partly optional to them. You can ask your patron for specific gifts, or for things that benefit you, but might not benefit another contractee of the same patron. Now, Milos, you are a bit in an unusual situation, as I have yet to have another contractee of an Earth Titan, but
Yeah.
I believe, on principle, it should be the same.
All right.
And so, I'd like you to reach out to your patron and see what sort of strengths that can be granted you. All you have to do is ask. And mechanically, as you look through the Eldritch Vocations, it's basically in D&D Beyond, you're picking whatever it is that you want, and
Right.
in the game, you're choosing the flavor of what that looks like for Milos.
Hmm. Okay, so he's going to, I guess, take a deep breath and start trying to reach out to his patron.
It's easier now.
Okay.
It's almost as though just opening a window. And as the air flows in, it's almost as though you're sticking your head out into the earth plane, the same dusty feeling of heavy air that you felt while you were projected, but more so in that dream.
So looking at the list in D&D Beyond, a lot of them have prereqs, or you're supposed to take them after you've done your level 3 thing. So I'm looking at the baby ones.
Yeah, the second level ones, which are things like Agonizing Blast, Armor of Shadows, Beast Speech, Beguiling Influence. Let's see, Devil's Sight.
I'm looking. The first thing that I was immediately intrigued by was Beguiling Influence, because I don't have any charisma proficiencies right now.
Right.
Cheating, though, because he was going to ask Elise for help with that. So I don't...
Well, you can either train it up in class, or you can just take the invocation and train something else.
But if I take the invocation, I could do something weird, like Gaze of Two Minds, or 1 second. A lot of them are really cool, so it's hard to... You know what I'm going to do, though? I actually think Armor of Shadows is what he's going to ask for, because that's a turtle, and I would like a shell.
Okay.
Like, I don't know that he's going to phrase it quite like that, but I just think being able to
basically
cast
have
Mage
Mage
Armor,
Armor and Will, yeah.
right? And I think that the color for it, it's not going to actually be Armor of Shadows so much as it's going to be Armor of Stone, but
yeah.
visually. But yeah, that is. I think he's going to reach out and ask for ways to be more protected against attack, so that he can put himself into danger with less risk to his squishy human body.
Right. By casting Mage Armor at will, you bump your AC up to 15, which is much more respectable than what it is now, which I think is a 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are very easy to hit at the moment.
But I am.
That's, the nature of the beast. So, your flavor of this armor of not shadows, but earth,
Right.
it's like coming from nowhere, these scales of stone, just like as if materialize from above you and then just basically build a set of armor on you.
Almost like a tortoiseshell pattern, but not all the way to tortoise, but just like visually the sort of patterning of sort of brown and gray stone, like stone armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you can cast it at will, you can basically have this up all the time.
Yeah.
So aesthetically, that's almost like Milos's new look, is he's got this stone scale mail made of almost tortoise shell shapes, over his shoulders and chest, and probably not like a full suit, considering its AC is only 15. But it is definitely better than what it was before.
Yeah.
I think because this is of the Earth Titan Zaratan, those scales, or I guess shell plates, whatever it is, the
Wait.
armor that you
Oh,
build yourself is run through with almost hairline patterns of what, at a glance, it just looks like decoration. But, and to anyone who can speak Terran, it is a story.
oh, that's cool.
I don't think you can speak Terran, part of
Not
Primordial.
yet. No,
Okay.
not yet. It's something that is something he's gonna have to learn, and it is something that he's put on his list of things to learn. But
Right. So this is what you spend most of the day doing, is meditating and conversing with your patron and deciding what gift it is that you are granted. And
now, looking at the character builder, there's actually 2 invocations that come at level 2.
yes,
So
you
I'm
get to choose a
assuming
second
we're
one
gonna
as
be
well.
doing more than one class day doing this.
I was
Uh,
no, it.
okay,
I was literally about to say
Oh,
you
I'm
have
sorry.
to choose another.
Okay, I apologize. I've got ahead of myself.
It's okay.
Uh,
Which raises the question: what is the second one? You've chosen armor of shadows as the first, and with the cool flavor of it being from an Earth Titan, it. I mean, you look cool, but you could go further in what you choose for the second one. If you wanted to double down on durability, you could choose Fiendish Vigor, and it would be like false life at will, which basically just gives you an increased temporary hit points for the duration, which the duration is an hour, but you can do it at will, so you basically can just...
to basically just always have it.
Yeah.
I do like that because it fits. It's sort of building himself tankier, and I think that fits with It both fits with the aesthetic, but it also fits with kind of his conception of himself and like the whole thing where he wants to, like, he's supposed to be using these gifts to help other people. So I know that tank warlock is not exactly the usual warlock thing, but it just seems like the direction that Milos is headed.
Well, let's be honest. You're never going to be a tank as a
No,
warlock,
but
you will be more durable. That is totally fine.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll mark that.
All right. So the flavor for this, every time you use false life, I imagine this would be subtler than the mage armor. I like to imagine that it's almost as though, you know, Milos being a native of Fidi, his skin is tan.
Yeah.
It's a darker color than one who is, straight out of Aurelia or Terracona. And we'll say that on someone else, this flavor would be more noticeable, but because your skin is already almost of a bronzish tone, what happens instead is where the wrinkles from a smile or the pores on your flesh that would be noticeable, it's almost as though they are hewn of clay. So it's not obvious unless someone is looking very close, but it's like the finest layer of flexible clay over all of you. That is
almost
this
like a walking statue, only not.
Only not, yes, but yes. That is the flavor. That is what I envision when I think of...
Yeah, no, I like that.
The false life granted by an Earth Titan. Okay.
Cool. Alright.
Additionally, if in the future you are unhappy with these choices, we can change them. I'm not going to nail you down to what you've chosen.
It makes sense, though. It fits. Let me just look at spells really quick. I think that's... Yeah, I get one more spell. Right now I've got Eldritch Blast, Absorb Elements, and Chaos Bolt.
As you are working, you hear from across the room Dog say to Elise, "Do you have any books with exotic language?" And you hear Elise say, "I'm sure we can find something." And if you glance over, a moment later, Elise is handed a tome that is ancient looking to Dog, and her eyes are glowing green as she's looking at it.
Ah. So she's doing the read any.
Seems like it, yeah.
That seems fitting. I'm gonna take Hex for my third Warlock spell. Classic.
That is a classic, yes.
So there we go. I am leveled up. Oh, hit point?
You do. You can choose to roll or take average. It's up to you.
It looks like I took average because it's saying that my HP is 14.
I see, which is not great.
No.
You could choose to fix it by going to the race page, like the starter page, and setting your HP to manual.
I'm going over to manage HP. I'm going to set it to manual. And
okay.
I'm going to roll
1 hit die. Your first level is obviously max.
Yeah.
Your second level, go ahead and roll it, and if you roll a 1, you re-roll.
Alright, I'm going to roll a D8 plus 1.
Six. That's not bad.
Okay. It's a little better. Not a lot better, but a little better. So that comes to...
I think that increases your HP to 16?
Yes.
Better than 14.
16 is definitely better than 14. Every little bit helps when you are this
Squish. Little... Yeah. You are a warlock.
I'm a warlock. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay.
This is one of the quieter days of class that you've had in Elise's class.
Because all we're really doing is working on our invocations. So, I guess I practiced my mage armor. I practiced my false life.
Yeah, you just do them, which, like when you're doing the false life, it's not noticeable, but you feel it.
Nope.
The first time you do
dirtier.
the first time you do it, you almost feel a little stiff, as the magic, you have to get used to it.
Yeah.
But after a couple times, it's like a second skin. Because it is.
Yeah. All right.
Elise, who is seated at this point towards the end of the class, she's seated in the corner of the room, and she says, "Milos, I have a proposition for you."
A proposition?
So, it is unique in our position as warlocks of the Merigard Academy, where you are unusual in that you can be used for more than just as part of a contracting team. So, I have some questions. I'm getting there. Yes, you can. It is where espionage and looking into... Well, do you know what a spy is?
I mean, I've read novels, but I don't think that's real.
Well, I'll sum it up for you. What do you know about the Merigard Academy politically?
Out of character, I'm not sure that Milos knows anything about this.
That's fine, you can just say nothing.
Oh, okay. I don't think I know much of anything about that.
That's fine. I will summarize. The Merigard Academy is unique in that while we are settled on Aurelian soil in the town of Ferrum, we are not part of the Aurelian nation. We are an individual entity. And so we owe them no loyalty. This could be seen as a good or a bad thing. For the purposes of this conversation, we will see it as a good thing and a thing of convenience. As you grow and you learn the trade of working for the Merigard as a contractor or otherwise, there will be opportunities where your services may be better served looking into other nations and other locations and passing information back to us. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, as an academy that basically makes all of our money by performing mercenary work for various nations around the world, and we don't discriminate, it is important that we know who might need what and when. I can sense the questions bubbling forth.
Well, I think I would have to have a lot to learn before I could do anything like that.
Yes. But that's why I'm talking to you about it now.
Right.
As a warlock, you can find a very comfortable position on a contracting team, often as what adventurers call the face. The individual who speaks with the city guard, or the one who arranges for travel, or gets the individuals that you're in a party with out of trouble by speaking quickly and thinking fast on your feet. We have many tools at our disposal that can expedite these issues when they occur. But for those warlocks that would rather be self-sufficient, what we would do in those cases is we would plug those warlocks into an important location. For example, maybe you suddenly have been working for the embassy in Silver's Reach for the last 10 years. And all you have to do is then pay attention to what is occurring, and should anything of interest happen, you tell us. Does that make sense?
It does. I would basically be becoming someone else.
Mm-hmm. And while you would still be Milos or Thandri, you would have a second identity that you would use whilst you were working as a spy. We like to call them informants because that is less obvious.
Right. This is my spy is not
Yes.
very subtle.
No, yes. That being said, this position is not for everyone, and I just wanted to let you know that it was a thing that could be in your future if you wanted it. It can be more along the lines of what some warlocks prefer when they want to work solo or with simply one or two others instead of as part of a mercenary group. It does also mean there will be much less, well, I can't say that with honest. There is likely to be less outright fighting in the future of an informant, but should things become sticky, it is expected that an informant defend themselves or take action as needed.
Sounds like a much more independent operator.
It would be, yes.
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that that's... It sounds like it could be very interesting, and it sounds like that it would be a way for me to be very helpful. I'm not great at lying.
We will work on that.
I know, we've talked about that before. And so it's not a path that I'm turning down, but I can definitely see that it would be a path that would take a great deal of learning from me before I could be effective at it.
Well, Milos, let me put it this way, okay? Embellishing the truth and also telling outright deceptions are things that can be taught, and it's not hard to teach them. What is going to matter is your intents and wants for your future. So, If you're not turning it down directly, then we can consider it. But there is a second part to this. Should you continue on the course of becoming a contractor, there is what we like to consider a practical exercise coming up very soon in the Fall Festival. If you are interested in fighting and working as a mercenary, this practical exercise is one that we should invest some time in. And so I will ask you how you feel about that.
I mean, I'm not afraid of fighting.
A good start.
My patron has just given me some tools to be better at it. Or at least last longer at it.
Sure. And that is, of course, a benefit. One that will likely save you. Let me explain the Fall Festival. Basically, the town of Ferrum, we lock up the southern docks and the main road up until the Miragard Academy. We board any alleys and roads that lead to the rest of the town, and we evacuate all the citizens from within. We bring them all outside the gates and arrange for them to watch the events along on scrying glasses, and then we fill the town with monsters. The monsters can range from anything from goblins to, well, bandits, or things as large as crocodiles to giants to minotaur, etc. Well, the important part is that every monster has on it, around its neck, a stone totem. And the Fall Festival's goal is that the team that collects the most totems wins. And the prizes can be truly fantastic. For first place, if it is a Miragard students team, one of the prizes is an accelerated graduation to a contracting team. The other prizes include magic items and gold and such like that, but the graduation is one of the most sought after, as it allows you to skip your final exam, because you've proven yourself as a capable team by winning the Fall Festival.
Sure, I see.
Now, additionally, totems can be stolen from other teams. Everyone within a team begins with a totem around their neck as well. And you best believe that the rogue students always make a habit of attempting to loosen the totems from around other players' necks, whether they are aware of it or not.
That doesn't surprise me, no. That makes sense.
The point is, the Fall Festival is an excellent practice to see how any contracting team might be, and for students to see what working in these groups is like. And if that is something you wish to pursue, you should go speak with Persh, where you can arrange yourself a Fall Festival team to practice with in the training room.
All right. I mean, it definitely sounds interesting. I'm not sure. It seems to me like accelerated graduation is the kind of thing that you'd want if you're in a hurry.
Well, there are other prizes, and first place gets to choose. Each member gets to choose what they win from the lot.
That sounds... I mean, it sounds very interesting. And I'm not about to back down from a challenge, really.
I thought you might not.
So that's a conversation to have with Persh.
Do you happen to know 4 individuals that you'd like to be in a team with? Dog is, I'm afraid, off the table, as you cannot have 2 within the same class on a team.
Yeah, 2 warlocks. Well, I've done... Assuming that we can't get into trouble reading anything out loud, I've done free agencies with. I can think of two people.
Well, you can always ask Persh for his recommendations, and he will assign you individuals that he believes would be a good teammate for you.
Sure.
He
We're
is.
thinking of that anyway.
Of course. You don't have to make any decisions now, nor do you have to even do so today. The Fall Festival is in a few weeks.
So there'd be a little time to prepare at least.
Oh, of course. In fact, there are students out on free agencies now gathering up monsters for the events.
I bet that's an interesting free agency. Go find something that we can put a collar on so that it can attack everyone.
They do have specific tasks. I believe ambush drakes are the name of the monster today. So,
Ambush drakes.
yes, they are of dragon kin, but they are a little larger than, say, a mastiff. They have a nasty bite, but they are manageable, I believe.
Interesting. All right. Do you have advice about building a team?
Well, think about your own strengths, what it is that you're good at, and then focus on your fulfilling fortifications for your weaknesses. I realize your patrons just granted you some hardiness, but having
That
a sturdy
I was
frontliner might be a good idea.
I was thinking about asking Stoic.
Stoic, he's an excellent choice.
He we worked together before. I did get him into a bit of trouble, but we got back out of it again. Mostly.
I believe I did hear something about that.
I imagine you did. And then, well, I don't know. I think talking to Persh is a good idea, but
Or you could always just see if any other students are to your liking in particular. Poke around, ask about.
I've definitely met some interesting folks here. And not here, for that matter.
I did hear we had a new recruit yesterday.
I thought she might follow up on that.
Oh, yes. Struggles with common, that one, but
She'll get it.
I imagine...
She's very smart.
Yes, I imagine Miss Dawn will be able to handle anything she can throw at her.
Yeah. Did she, well... Never mind. It's not important.
All right. Well, for your first lesson in conversation, never begin a line of thought out loud unless you intend to finish it.
Sorry.
All is well?
I was just wondering if she was still using that last name.
I don't know. That is a question you should likely ask her.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Anyway, I realize I've given you a lot to think about. I'd like you to consider your options. Maybe talk to Persh or not. It's up to you. But if the Fall Festival is something you wish to pursue, you should get on it soon.
I think it's worth trying. I just have to sort out what the team aspect would look like. And so I think talking to Persh is a good idea.
And on that note, she glances up at the clock on the wall and she says, "That is all the time we have for today."
Okay. Thank you, Elisa. It's been very enlightening.
I do my best. And she stands politely, in the same manner she always does as class is dismissed.
Hey, Milos is gonna mosey for the door, but he's gonna hang out in the hallway for a second to see to talk to Dag.
Okay. Yeah, she
Before we
leaves,
stop.
like, right after. She's right behind you, basically.
Okay.
And she notices that you are waiting, and so she says, "Yeah, what's up?"
I was curious if you're doing this fall festival thing.
"I don't know. I've thought about it."
Because I know we can't team up since we're both warlocks, but I was just curious if you had thoughts about that or whatever.
Are you looking for competition?
Well, technically we'll have to be competition because we can't be on the same team.
Agreed. Well, you be careful because I do know what you're studying.
Yeah. I know what you're studying too. I mean, mostly. I'm not like reading over your shoulder or whatever. I couldn't read over your shoulder. It's in weird other languages. But, you know,
You could have asked for that gift.
I could have. Instead, I asked for not getting knocked down, basically.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I used to get knocked down a lot. I still get knocked down a lot.
Just after the whole thing with the scarecrow, I just feel like I want to be dirtier because that was scary. It was frightening.
Are you scared that you're going to run into that entity again?
I'm not scared of that. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point.
What are you going to do about it?
I don't know, but it is definitely something I have to be prepared for. I don't believe that's over with.
Well, when it comes up again, you're going to have to decide if you'll learn what it wants or if you're just going to fight it off.
That's a good point. I got the sense that it might have wanted something I'm not prepared to give, but I guess
I
you never
understand
know
that.
without, you know, actually trying to bargain. I don't really feel competent to do that, but
My patron
anyway.
once told me that a soul to a mortal seems like everything. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just a hanger-on.
Okay, but you've got to kind of consider the context of where that's coming from, right?
She blinks at you.
Like that's your patron saying that. So
Yes.
I'm just saying that I mean advice like that is coming from a position of somebody with an agenda. I've already got a patron. I'm not going to be mortgaging off pieces of my soul to something else. That seems.
No, that might be foolish.
I mean, you go to the party. You're gonna stay with the one you're with, you know. This is a bad analogy.
I don't understand.
When you go to a party with somebody, never mind. It's just a stupid analogy. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I
All
just
right.
wanted to. I guess I'll see you later, Dag. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I don't understand.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
And she kind of walks off, that awkward
Sounds
air
like
that...
occasionally Milos generate
Yeah.
an awkwardness that impacts other people.
It seems like that's how the conversations with Dog go, is weird. But you find yourself in the hall of the Merigard Academy by yourself. What do you do?
Right. Persh next, I think.
Okay, you head to the front hall.
Gonna go bother Persh.
He's at his desk,
Harry
ledger
Potter
open.
puppet pal.
He glances up. Milos.
Good afternoon, Persh.
Afternoon.
Elise said I could talk to you about the themes for the fall festival.
Right. Are you intending to sign up?
Maybe, but I'm not 100% sure who to build a team with. So I wanted to talk to you about that. Do you know of people who might be looking, or do you like? I was gonna ask Stoic if he's not already involved in a team.
Let me
But I
look.
did.
And he like pulls up a large book on. He sets it down on top of the ledger that he's already looking at, and he's skimming through it. And as he does, he says, "Stoic is available. Um, let's see here. Roll me a d12."
Okay. Well, barbarian hit dice. Go.
5. Kali Toothspring is available. And let's see here. Roll me another d12. 12. Sabratha Nulik is available.
Who's that?
She's a cleric student.
Oh,
Alright, and let's see here. Go ahead and roll me another d12. 3.
wee.
Ah. Looks like Skolna's free. You familiar with her?
No.
Alright. So, I'll give you a breakdown. Skolna Mykex is a rogue student. She's skilled at being sneaky. Let's see here. Sabratha is a light cleric of treats. And you said stoic. Who else was there?
You said Toothspring?
Toothspring. Carly, right. She's a wizarding student. So, I can arrange a meeting if you'd like to get to know these as potential teammates.
Sure. Why not? If they're also looking.
That's why they're on this list.
All right.
Let's see here. Do you care which happens first?
No.
Roll me a d4.
That's a 1.
That's Callie Toothspring.
Okay.
So, Persh picks up the sending crystal. Except, you hear he doesn't call an instructor. He just says, Callie, I have a taker on your straw. Would you like to come down and talk to Milos Orthandri, Warlock student? He listens for a moment. She'll be right down. Just go ahead and have a seat.
Sure. Yeah.
As you sit down, I'll put you on the map.
Hooray.
There's Milos.
There he is.
It is brief, but soon a upbeat halfling in a long cloak enters. Fair skin, brown hair, and what looks like an unending smile on her face as she kind of marches into the room, and she says, "Hello there.
Hello.
I hear you're looking for a wizard."
I am. Yeah, I'm looking for people to team up with for the fall festival.
Ah, right, perfect. Well, I'm real good at making things explode.
That sounds epic, honestly. Um,
Evocation's my specialty. And if you need big booms, I'm your girl. Great things come in small packages, they say. And she hops up onto the bench next to you. And she
I've
holds out
heard
a
that.
hand.
Milos will take her hand.
Collie tooth spring.
Nice to meet you. I'm Milos Orthandri. I'm a warlock student. I guess Persh already told you that.
I
Um,
heard briefly, but it's always nice to hear it out of the horse's mouth itself.
uh, well, as long as we're talking horses, I got all my own teeth. Um,
I see that.
yeah. Uh,
At least I can see the top ones. I can't really
the
see the
top
bottom
one.
ones too well.
I guess, yeah. Um, so I have a little magic. And
You got any neat tricks?
neat tricks. Um, well, I'm I've always got this mage armor now, which is pretty cool. Um, I can become really big or really small for 10 minutes, if that's useful.
I might be good for whacking things or getting
Yeah.
into tight places.
Yep. Um, my weapons come with me, so that is actually, yeah. I
Oh,
can do things with dirt, not
well, I
probably
could
not
do
that
things with
exciting.
dirt too. Do you mean like more than just kick it around?
I can mold earth. It's not that exciting, but my patron is earth based, so I can do a lot of stuff with earth and
Oh, I see. Okay. That's interesting.
yeah, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be in terms of the fall festival, unless we need to tunnel under something.
Well, from what I
Uh,
heard, it takes place out in town, right?
yeah,
Well, you can always make some
you never
cover.
know. Yeah, yep, could make a little, guess a bunker of dirt.
I mean, I'd be extremely grateful.
Neat. Yeah. Um,
Okay, who else we got?
you're the first one I've actually talked to. I want to talk to Stoic. Do you know him?
No.
He's good. He's a real big guy.
I was kidding. I know Stoic real well. He's my best friend.
Oh, that's awesome.
We hang out all the time.
That's great.
Great pick. He's not the brightest, but
That's
he
okay.
is, he's a nice guy, and he's
You're
real good at
probably
swinging.
you're probably the brightest if you're the wizard.
Yeah, I
I've
am.
heard that wizards are pretty smart.
I spent my whole life researching. Gotta bring honor to the family name, right? I'm just kidding. Not at all. I don't care what they think. Um, but yeah, I am very bright.
So, you're the brains, he's the brawn, and I'm vaguely shiny and could do things with dirt. So, yeah, that works, right?
What a sentence that was.
That's a talent I have. Uh,
I thought warlocks were supposed to be good at talking.
I'm working on it.
I guess that's why we're in class, right?
Right.
Okay, okay.
I realize that I don't. I'm still working on the selling myself thing, but I'm not actually that bad at it in clutch. You just can't tell right now. I swear.
That's fine. I believe you. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how you handle yourself in the. I hear there's a training room, and it's actually quite a thing.
Well, I'm excited to find out then. I guess I should find Stoic because he was actually the first name I thought of when I was thinking of it on my own. We worked together at a free agency, and um, yeah.
Well, we can go find him. I know where the paladin classroom is.
All right, let's go.
She hops off
Gonna-
the bench, and little legs
He's
pad down
he's
the
gonna
hall.
follow her. I don't think he might know where the paladin classroom is. I don't remember, but he's gonna follow her anyway.
She heads to the right, and she opens a door that leads into a massive training room. And within the massive training room, there is a huge glass mosaic mural on the far wall that is a huge symbol of a flaming hammer. It's the first thing you see because it takes up an entire wall, and sun's light comes pouring through it. You see there is a tower of a Goliath. You recognize a Stoic. He is training at a wooden training dummy. And next to him is a tall woman with silver hair, and the side of her face it looks like it was burned badly a long time ago. She has a very broad tattoo that you recognize is in Celestial, but you don't speak Celestial.
I don't speak that.
But you do recognize the language. It's tattooed around her neck. She has a massive hammer on her back, and she's wearing what looks like just a full suit of plate armor, but it's like bronze in color. And as the door opens, the woman turns around and looks and says, "How are you? What can I do for you?"
Hi, my name's Milos Arthandri. I'm looking to talk to Stoic if he's got a minute.
"What time is it?" And she looks up at the clock, and she says, "Oh, shit, yeah." And Stoic, who is sweating and out of breath from the training, is like he thumps his greatsword on the ground, and he's like catching his breath. And she says, "Yeah, you're dismissed. Class is over."
Saved by the bell.
Yeah. Stoic looks up at you, and he, like, his friendly face is like looking grateful. I am pleased that you came looking for me. This is my instructor, Chris. Chris, this is Milos, and you've met Callie. And the instructor nods as she's like heading back toward the front of the room.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. You're not here to become a paladin, are you?
No.
I didn't think so. You don't look the type. It's fine. And she like thuds the hammer onto like a stand. And you see on this side of the room, now that you're in the actual training room, on brackets is a huge, almost, it might be longer than Stoic's. There is a great sword that seems to glow with radiant light just shining on the wall.
Comically large Holy Avenger.
Yeah.
Okay. Milos doesn't know what that is. He just says, "Wow, big sword."
Yeah. Cress, the instructor, kicks her feet up in the corner again on like a desk that's more like a podium that she has a chair behind, and she has opened a canteen and is drinking. And Stoic is looking at you two, and he says, "What do I owe the pleasure of this, well, saving of me?"
Well, I came wanted to see if you wanted to team up for the fall festival.
What does that mean?
Oh, you haven't heard about this yet?
No.
Okay. So apparently every year they do a fall festival, which is broken up into teams. And the town gets full of monsters, and you fight them as a team, and you have to try to get the collars that they're wearing.
Oh, I see. You liked how I handled the tense situations during our free agency. I see.
For sure.
Okay. And
I
Callie next
owe
to
you
you.
one because I got you into trouble.
You certainly
the
do.
last time that we worked together, so I felt like maybe I owed you one, and maybe we could team up and it would go better this time because we would not read anything out loud.
Do you know, I don't imagine we'll come across too many books whilst we are in the fall festival unless we are doing some looting, which I'm not entirely in favor of.
Yeah, that seems fair.
But yeah, I am on board.
Great.
I imagine you, as he's thinking, he kind of like is scratching his chin. And you notice the holy symbol that you never really noticed before suddenly is hanging out of his armor. Go ahead and roll me a religion check to see if Milos recognizes who it is Stoic is a paladin of.
Nope. Nope, Milos does not have
That's
a
a
fucking
2.
clue.
Okay.
That is a natural 1.
Well, the symbol looks like a snowflake with a sun inside of it. But you don't know who that is.
Yeah, Milos has no idea.
But
He's
as
just like,
Stoic is scratching his chin, he
weather.
says, I see you maybe have recruited Miss Toothspring. And Callie's down next to you. She says, uh-huh, so you're coming whether you like it or not. And Stoic says, well, how can I argue with it? Yeah, I'm on board. That's fine.
So we've got the big booms and we've got the big guns. So next, Persh recommended there was someone who's a cleric student, which strikes me as not the worst idea. Or we could try for Skulna.
I believe our team is 5.
Oh, so we could try for both.
I think that is likely a good idea. At least,
yeah.
So long as the fall festival follows the standard team mechanisms that. And
it does,
Callie just waves her hand, says, "It's 5."
Yeah, it does because the whole idea is that we're supposed to practice working as the type of team that we'll eventually be in.
Right. So,
and if we win, then potentially we can skip our final exam. Although I don't actually know that I want to do that. Because I'm in no hurry. I want to learn stuff. But there's other things that you get if you win too, so.
And also, we could just say that we've won. We are the best. I am okay with this.
Yeah, for sure. Also,
I like being the best. And he, folds his arms across his chest.
I like being the best too. And honestly, it seemed like exactly the kind of challenge, it would be super lame to not try. You get an opportunity like this, you gotta take it, right? You can't
Absolutely.
Just not try to do the thing. Be super bullshit. So.
I did not know they did something so interesting for the fall festival here. Back in home is, is there's some food.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's some food, and sometimes people light up some fireworks, and sometimes you have to beat them up if they try to light fireworks off in the mine. Anyway,
yes. The best way to celebrate the gods coming back is to blow up a mine. Very good.
Some of the kids back home were pretty stupid. Anyway, all right. I guess we should go back to Persh and ask about the other two then.
Yes. Lead the way.
Because Callie says there's a training room that they have that we could start working together and seeing how we fit.
Callie nods and she says, Tabernac made it. He's very fond of it.
Very cool.
Stoic follows you as you leave the Paladin classroom. And I will pull Stoic into the map. There he is.
Thus far, it is a party full of hard hitting.
Yes. Okay, so you head back to the front desk. And Persh is looking up and says, it looks like you already have half a team.
Yep, we're getting there.
Alright, who are you reaching out to next?
Well, I'm sorry, what was the cleric's name again? You've told me this twice now. I'm gonna write this down this time.
Sabratha.
Sabratha.
Or I could see if one of the other ones are available.
I mean, if there's somebody looking, there's no reason not to interview them.
Well, all 3 of them are looking, from what I know.
Oh.
Why don't we start with her, and if it doesn't work out, we can move on.
Sure.
And Persh picks up the sending crystal. Sabratha, I happen to have a taker on your note here. Do you mind coming up to the front desk? She'll be up in a minute. Just have a seat. And it does take a minute. But eventually, it's not obvious when she arrives. Sabratha is a white-scaled dragonborn. You can see what she looks like as I put her in the map. She is very lithe and light on her feet. She wears a long rapier on her belt. And she looks at the three of you and she says, I hear you need a cleric.
Yeah. We're putting together a team for the fall festival. I'm Milos. I'm the warlock. This is Callie and Stoic.
She tips her head to Callie. You think they likely know each other. But Sabratha looks at Stoic, and Stoic says, It is a pleasure to meet you. And Sabratha says, So it is. And you immediately get this vibe of not condescending, but it's almost like nobility.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not quite like the nobility that you experienced at the hands of Tanis Shile, the artificer that you discovered a fucking scarecrow with. It's not quite as refined. And Sabratha looks over the three of you and she says, I'm a healer. I've seen a bit of... Excuse me. I've seen a bit of trouble lately, so I'd just like to know what sort of work have the three of you already done, if to the other.
Well, I solved a mystery with Stoic here.
Stoic nods.
I got into a fight with a possessed scarecrow, which was pretty disturbing.
She, like, is... You get the idea that she's appraising you, basically. She's, like, insight checking you up and down, like, what does that mean?
What the fuck did he just say?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me just a straight charisma roll.
Sure. That's a 9.
Okay. She seems to take that, and she doesn't, like, make any assumptions off of it. She just kind of quirks an eyebrow.
Like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah.
I
guess the only other mission I've done was a astral trip to the Earth plane, but I don't know how to describe that, really. I mean, it was work. I survived it.
Both of her brows rise to this, and she says, I'd love to know more about that.
I'm not really sure how to explain. My patron is in the Earth plane, and I went there to help with something. And I had to basically go on walkabout in just my soul. Tabernacle sent me there. And then I came back.
She blinks. You... All right.
I'm sorry, I don't really know how to explain it. It wasn't exactly the most standard mission.
She says something... what languages do you speak?
Undercommon, Giant, Dwarvish.
Okay. She says something in a language you don't understand. And she says, fascinating. All right. Well, that's the most exotic thing I've heard lately. We can at least try it out, I guess. See what you're made of. And then she glances over at Stoic, and you see her eyes land on the holy symbol, and she quirks her lip up in like a small smile, as her religion check was much better than yours.
Well, it's hard to get worse than mine.
Yeah. As she kind of smiles at Stoic, she too is wearing a holy symbol. This is an amulet. This is one that I'd like you to roll a religion check, but the DC is like a 6. It's a very well-known deity. Well, okay, natural 20.
I'm the top of the dice, the bottom of the dice.
Yes.
That is where I live.
She is a follower of Tyrus. the goddess of the blue sun, who is famous for being ambitious, self-interested, and, well, ruthless.
That's funny, and it makes the natural the natural 20 make sense for Milos, because the deity that I had originally written down for him on his sheet was Pyrrhus.
The
So they would
opposite. Yes.
absolutely recognize that holy symbol.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think he was ever like super, like, it hasn't come up that much. I don't think he was like super engaged at the church or anything, but like I wrote it down. So
Yeah. She says to Stoic, "It's good to know we'll have another divine on our side, hmm?" And Stoic says, "If we are careful, for sure. I mean, I don't know how well they get along. You know, it's a bit like fighting parents." And Sabratha just, I mean, you might not be wrong, but I'm sure they'll be all right if we play nice. And Stoic says, "I always play nice. These two can vouch. I am a very nice person."
he is very nice.
Callie nods and she says, "He's my best friend. So, of course you'll play nice, or I'll blow you up." And Sabratha says, "Okay, that's, well, pleasure to meet you too."
Gotta
And
love the loyalty.
she does nod at you as you say that. And then Callie says, "Right, so that's 4.
And Persh mentioned Skolna?
To that, Callie looks at you and says, "Oh, she's quiet. You'll see."
All right.
Sabratha, whose token broke, hold on,
Oh no.
let me make it actually do the freaking thing that it's supposed to do.
I mean, I saw the picture of her, but
Right, but it's got to do the thing that it's supposed to do.
okay.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
I love Callie's face.
That art for Callie is like perfect. I was so happy when I found it. Okay. You have Sabratha, who joins you, making your party of 4. And so Persh looks up. "You're looking for Skolna then?"
That's the plan.
"Right, okay." He picks up the blue crystal. "Skolna, I happen to have a group here who's picked up your note. If you're interested in the fall festival, come down." There's a moment's pause, and he blinks and sets the stone down, and he says, "I think she'll be down in a moment." Roll me a perception.
21.
Okay, that's pretty darn good. And yet, somehow,
Not good enough.
not good enough. As you're looking around, suddenly, and you don't know when she arrived. You don't know when she appeared. You've kind of been standing on the balls of your feet, just kind of looking around, maybe making small talk with the other 3. And then there is a purple-skinned tiefling basically standing in front of you. She just kind of waves.
Hi. Are you Skolna?
She
I'm
nods
Milos.
with a shrug. When you say "I'm Milos," she holds out a hand for a shake.
Yeah, I'll shake her hand, and then you kind of glance at Callie and go, "Yeah, I get it."
She's
So,
always been like this.
So, we're building a team for the fall festival, and Persh said that you might be interested. I'm Milos. I'm warlock. I do stuff with dirt. and other things.
You see her brow furrows at that.
I've really got to come up with a better introductory line.
That does kind of sell yourself short, don't you think? Callie
I'm
says.
really good at that. I'm really good at that. Sorry. But
The
yeah,
playing
I
with the
can also
dirt or
make
selling yourself short?
I meant selling myself short. I can make myself real big. Anyway, I'll show you. We'll see. And then
Skull nods.
so this is Stoic and Sabratha and Callie. You might know all these people already, but this is the team so far.
She waves at Callie with a finger waggle, and then kind of tips her head to Stoic and Sabratha. Stoic says, "I've never seen this person before in my life."
I'm glad it's not just me.
And Sabratha
But I get
says,
the sense that you
"I've
don't
seen
really
her.
see her unless she wants you to.
I've seen her around a couple times, but I didn't know what I thought. I didn't ever see her for long." And you see that Skolna kind of frowns at Sabratha, and then shrugs, tilts her head.
So, you want to try this out?
She kind of holds her hands up with a shrug, and then a nod.
Shrug hands. Okay. Great. I guess we've got a team.
She gives you a thumbs up.
Milos gives her two thumbs up back, and then he goes. I guess he goes over to Persh and says, "I think we've got our training team."
All right. Well, it's getting close to dinner, but if you'd like, I can show you the training room right now. Or we can handle it tomorrow. It's up to you.
Well, I had a pretty light class day, but it looked kind of like Stoic was getting beat to shit.
Don't you put this on me. If you want to do this today, I am good for it.
All right, let's go then. Let's just at least see. Let's at least see how it goes. Get a feel for it.
He says, absolutely. Don't you dare put it on me again, or I swear we will have problems.
Okay. No, your instructor forgot what time it is. That's all I'm saying.
He shrugs, and Persh hops down from behind the desk, and he leads the way over to a door that you've never seen before. It's on the opposite side of the foyer. It's inlet in the wall, the same as the selections room door, but on the other side, and it's got an archway to it. As he shows you the door, you now see it. You never noticed it before. He opens it up, and you see it kind of leads out to a sand-lined hallway, and he gestures for all of you to go through.
Yeah.
As you do, you notice that this room is permeated by a mist. A fine, kind of lingering mist that... It's not unpleasant, but it smells of roses and lavender. Do
Sounds
you
like
have...
shampoo in here.
A little bit, yes. Do you have any injuries?
I don't.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Full up.
I need to make sure that this... Okay. Yeah. As you head into this room, this permeating mist is everywhere, and it is pleasant, if a little weird. And as you are making your way in... Hold on a second here. Where is my... Okay, I think that's right. You are led through, and you see there's a large portcullis ahead of you, and Persh leads the way in until you are in the middle of this massive pit room. This room is huge and circular, and the roof seems to be well over 50 feet high. And Persh says, "This here is the Marigold training room. The mist in this room will prevent you from ever truly dying. You can be knocked unconscious while they're in here. Also, if you take any injuries, the mist will heal you. It cannot reattach a limb, so be careful. But it can heal some fairly dire injuries. Additionally, Tabernac has enchanted this room so that I can, on demand, create threats for you to practice against. You're welcome to use the training room at any time up until the fall festival. You can use the training room to fight other training teams or monsters that we can create and place. Do you understand so far?
So you like make a real team to fight?
No.
Or
I would contact another team that's looking to scrimmage, and we would arrange a meeting for the two of you to
that
duke
makes more
out.
sense. Okay, that's cool. That sounds like fun, but I think we probably should see how we fare against something else first.
Right. So, based on your team's composition and who you have, I will create a threat that I think will be not a challenge, but will maybe cut your teeth on. This room, you can modify it as you like. Should you happen to have magic or a shovel, those sorts of things. Maybe create yourselves cover, maybe a bunker, whatever it is that you can do. Any and all constructs that you create, after about a minute, they will go away. This room will reset itself to look like this after any period of time.
Got it.
So, if you all would like, you can familiarize yourselves with each other's abilities, maybe get a feel for the room. It is as simple as can be, though. When a threat is about to appear, that portcullis will shut. Any questions?
Got it. So we can just start manipulating so Milos reaches out and he starts molding earth on the sand.
Okay. Yeah. It reacts to your spell well. You can create cover. You can make a pit. It's just warm. It seems to respond.
Okay, I'm just gonna build a little, maybe just a piece of cover, basically, like a little bunker.
How big?
I was thinking, looking at mold earth.
It's per turn. You could move 5 feet
right.
of it.
Okay, so basically, I'm just gonna build just like a 10-foot long bunker.
Okay.
Just
like that?
Yeah.
Okay. You have...
Just so that there's something that exists, and then, he's sort of looking at that, just something that someone could hide behind, and then he's just gonna start walking around in the sand and maybe make a little 5-foot pit over here.
Okay.
And Milo says, this is a much larger sand pit than I have ever played in before. And usually I was playing with a child. Anyway, I think that's useful, though.
You see that Callie hops down into the bunker, and she says, "That seems perfect to me."
Yeah.
And you see Skolna makes her way over toward the cover that you've created. This is a pit. Sorry, the cover that you've created. And Stoic basically is looking around the room, and he says, "Where do you think these creatures will appear?"
I don't know. I was just trying to give us a little bit of environment to work with, because very rarely are you actually going to be in a
Can you maybe make it maybe 30 feet high, just up to my waist?
Sure. I can do that. He'll make another one. He'll put one like right here.
Okay.
Just building the sand like.
Okay, yeah, you're making these little walls, and as you do, you see that Stoic kind of leans against it and sweeps his greatsword over the top, and he says, "This is perfect. Okay. Yes."
Great.
As you are doing this, suddenly, the portcullis closes. And Sabratha says, "Eyes up. Looks like we're not alone, at least not for long."
I guess it's go time.
And Sabratha will dart over by the wall next to you. And I'd like you to roll me a D100.
D100! Okay. What are you doing to us first? That's a 6.
A 6. Okay.
For a second, I thought it was going to be an actual double odd. But then it was a 6.
Okay. So, there is a rumbling of the earth. Now, hold on a minute while I go ahead and arrange these into your party folder, as you do actually have a party now.
Yeah.
And the companions. Skolna's in there. Stoic is in there. Sabratha's in there. And Callie's in there. Okay. That makes my organization a little bit easier. All right. As you've rolled a 6, I do have the monster that you are going to face.
Sure.
I'd like you to roll me 2d10s, please.
2d10.
Okay. That's where the
69.
first one will appear. And then roll me another 2d10, please. Okay. All right. Interesting. Excuse me. Suddenly, you feel the earth beneath your feet rumble. There is definitely something burrowed. And as the ground around your feet seems to vibrate,
Oh.
I need you to roll me initiative. As suddenly the sand parts and a ankeg, a massive sand beast, emerges pretty close to Callie.
Uh-oh. I rolled shit.
That does happen sometimes.
That's not right. Sorry, just we can correct it to what my actual initiative roll was.
And then another ankeg emerges.
Oh, big boy.
I have rolled for your party. They're not so great.
Well, neither was I, so that seems fair.
But you are faster than the ankeg, mostly. Sabratha is up first. Now, the way this is going to work, the way we're going to handle combat for your party, is you're going to tell me the rough idea of what the characters are going to do. If they try to do damage, I will basically decide how they do it. If they try to heal, I will decide how they do that. And if you want them to move and try and take cover or help, you can describe that. So, it is Sabratha's turn as she goes first.
Okay.
She's behind this bunker of 5-foot cover that you've created.
Yeah.
She can stay here, or she can move. It's up to you. What is she going to do on her turn?
I think that she should stay in cover. I don't really want to start the fight by encouraging my healer to immediately get into the mix. Can she do damage from back here, or would she need to move?
She can. She can choose to use a cantrip to do it, or she can try and use a spell slot.
Let's use a cantrip and save some spell economy for later.
Okay. In that case, Sabratha casts Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead!
Which means the Ankeg needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. DC
is 14. The Ankeg rolled a 4.
Okay.
Now, the Ankeg has not been hurt already, but
that's only a
deals 7 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
So,
do I know anything about Ankeg?
Roll me a nature check.
Okay, no, I don't know jack shit about Ankeg.
You've heard of them before.
Okay.
They're desert-dwelling monsters. They're dangerous.
They're big. Yeah, they're big and scary, and They live in the desert. Okay, got it.
That's Sabratha's turn. She chooses to stay in place. She holds out her hand with her holy symbol in it, and you hear this unsettling chiming of bells, tiny ones, just around the entire pit. And suddenly, greenish ichor begins to spill out from beneath the carapace of the Ankeg. Seems like it hurt. That's
Yay.
Sabratha's turn. It's now Skolna's turn. Skolna is not an ideal location right now.
No, I think I'd like to get her to move and get herself behind some of our cover, because she's basically on the side of the cover where the monsters are. So if we can get her back here.
Yeah, she will use 15 feet of movement, and she ducks behind cover. She could hide.
Bonus action to hide? Or
yes, she could bonus action or action to hide. It's up to you.
does she have ranged attacks?
She has a short bow.
Because if she shoot, I think she can shoot from behind there and then bonus action to hide.
She could. She would not have sneak attack, which she would prefer to hide first and then attack. Is what she would do.
Okay, then she can do that. Yeah, she can do that.
Okay.
So
she rolls stealth. She rolled a 24.
So Skolna disappears.
I don't. They can't see her or sense her. Skolna will then make a bow attack. Skolna will hit. She's attacking this one, the same one that the Toll of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
She hits with a 15, so she rolls damage plus sneak attack. Okay, Skolna deals 15 points of damage with one arrow. And that's her turn.
Okay.
It's now your turn. What do you do?
Milos' turn. Milos is going to focus fire on the same one that the others have been attacking.
This one, then.
This one, yeah. And he's going to go. I'm going to use. I'm going to bonus action Hex.
Okay. It is now hexed.
Yeah, that damage hasn't happened yet.
Sure.
That.
What attribute do you curse?
I'm gonna say strength.
Okay.
And then I am going to Eldritch Blast.
What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
It basically looks like a slightly glowing, like astral-looking boulder that kind of flies through the air and impacts, and when it impacts, it sort of shatters into imaginary pebbles.
Okay.
But not real pebbles, but like
this rock that comes out of nowhere flies forward. Okay, roll me a spell attack.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that hits.
Roll damages. And I guess that 3 from the hex from before. So 9 force and then 3 necrotic.
Okay. Yeah, that hurt it a lot. It's not looking good at all. It's on the verge of death.
And I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay where I'm at. Actually, I'm lying. I am going to move.
Where do you go?
I'm just going to move a little bit so that there's room behind cover for Callie when it's her turn.
Okay. It's now the Ankeg's turn. It doesn't like what you've done to it.
Yeah.
It's looking real bad. Hold on a second here. The Ankeg surges forward. When it gets here, it's going to acid spray at you.
Oh boy.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
That was pretty cool.
That's successful.
Yay!
I also roll for Stoic. His dex ain't great, but he is a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 15. Okay, you both succeed, which means you take half.
Hooray!
Half of 12, you each take 6 acid damage.
Oh boy.
And it continues to surge forward until it is right up in your face. And it's going to try to bite you.
Hey. AC is 15 with the mage armor.
That is a 17 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay. You take 8 points of piercing damage.
Hey.
And 1 point of acid damage.
Hey.
But that's the Ankeg's turn. It's now the other Ankeg's turn. It will surge forward. And it's going to acid spray the both of you again. So roll me a dex save.
Okay.
Okay, that is... Oh, you haven't rolled it yet. That's successful. Okay. Rolling Stoics. He nat 20'd it. Okay.
Nice.
You take... Let's see here. Okay, you take 5 points of acid damage.
I'm gonna absorb elements that.
Okay. You reduce that again to 2.
Yeah.
Your next melee attack is now imbued with acid damage.
Acid, which is kind of pointless, but, you know.
It's a thing.
Yeah, but I feel like I just didn't want to take all of that damage raw.
That's fair.
Because I'm still squishy, so that's 2.
I will roll a d2 to see which of you it's going to then follow up with. It's going for you, Milos.
Okay.
That's how it goes.
Yep. Put myself in harm's way. So.
This is a 14 to hit.
Does not hit because of the mage armor.
Okay. You manage to... You feel its mandibles bite into, and a couple of the stones break apart and fall away from your impromptu scales. And that's it for the Unkic's turn. It's now Callie's turn. Callie will run over here, and she holds her hands up after wiping them together, and a surge of burning hands washes over both the Unkegs. Because she's going to do that. Let's see. They both need to make a dexterity save. Let me tell you, that's not something the Ankegs are very good at. First one rolled a 12. Second one rolled a 10. They both fail.
Okay.
Okay, they each take 3d6 fire damage.
Whew.
And being the evocation wizard that she is, she can reroll 1s on that, and 2 of them are 1s. 14 points of fire damage wash over the 2 Ankegs, immediately incinerating the weaker Ankeg.
The one that we'd been
Yes.
wailing on, yeah.
That one is killed outright. The other Ankeg, taking 14, it recoils in pain, whipping around, and Callie, like runs back behind cover. She has 25 feet of movement total, so that's where she'll end up, right there.
Okay.
Halfling. Oh, no, she has 30. She has 30. And she can occupy the same... Yeah, and she can occupy the same space as Sabratha, so she's right there.
Right.
That's Callie's turn. It's now Stoic's turn. Stoic, what would you like Stoic to do?
I think he's gonna hit it. Right
Okay.
in front of him.
Is he going to spend a smite, or is he just going to whack it?
I think he just needs to whack it. I mean, she just did a whole bunch of damage to it.
Okay. He raises his greatsword high above his head and brings it down in a chopping strike. Let's see if he hits. That's an 18 to hit, which will certainly hit an Ankeg.
Yeah.
So I roll damage. Does he smite?
I mean, he's a paladin. He probably wants to smite. I'm not here to stop him from smiting.
Okay. Yeah, he'll put in a first level smite.
Like, I was looking at spell economy or whatever, but, like, he finally gets to hit something. He's gonna...
He deals 21 points of damage.
Nice.
Yeah. He slashes brutally with the greatsword, and the Ankeg is almost cut in half. It's still alive, but only just. And as he yanks the greatsword out of its carapace with a good start, yes? That is... He can move. That's all he's got.
I don't think he needs to move. I think that we're fine in our current configuration.
It's now Sabratha's turn. What will Sabratha do? She can heal, or she can attack. Or she can cast spell.
I mean... Am I the only one who's taken damage?
Stoic has also been quite hurt.
A little. Okay, yeah, she can heal.
Okay, who?
If Milos is directing it, he's going to say Stoic.
Okay. Sabratha will run over to Stoic and cast Cure Wounds. Okay. 1d8 plus 4. Okay, she heals Stoic for 7. Stoic is suddenly looking much better.
Yay.
Sabratha will continue her move to get to the other side of this bunker. And that's where she ends her turn.
Great.
Now it is Skolna's turn.
I think she's going to want to get around behind this Ankeg.
Okay, going for a flank?
Yeah.
Okay. She runs down. And she stab.
Yeah.
She draws a short sword and thrusts it forward with advantage. That's a 10 with advantage.
Oh, man.
She misses.
Bad.
Basically, it's just its carapace is too hard.
The dice
say no.
Say no.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Yep.
Skolna, now in a precarious position, will bonus action disengage and duck back behind the cover.
Yeah.
It's now your turn.
Milos is going to use a bonus action to move Hex off of the dead one and onto the live one.
Okay, it's now hexed.
Yep, and then he's going to cast... Wait.
Bop.
He's going to bop. Because he's too close, like... I'm not going to give myself disadvantage. That's stupid. I've got this mace. I might as well use it.
Okay, you swing your mace.
Oh, that's 10.
A 10...
Wait. Yeah, no, it's a 10. I'm not flanking. So,
yeah, a 10 does not hit.
10. He bonks uselessly off of carapace.
Yeah.
As you do.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Oh, well, now it's Callie's turn.
I'm afraid not. It's the Ankeg's turn.
Oh, it's the Ankeg's turn. Sorry.
The Ankeg is going to make... I'm going to see if it acid spray recharges. It does not. Okay. It is going to bite. It's going to bite each of you.
Chomp, chomp.
Okay. That's an 8 to hit you.
Nope.
And then a 22 to hit Stoic.
Ow. Good thing we healed him.
It is indeed. Stoic takes 11 points of damage total from the large bite. He's going to use his Goliath Stone Endurance to halve that. Because, ow. I believe that's how it works, yes? It's halves it?
Yeah, that's how that should work.
Let me just make sure I didn't...
It's been a while since I had that.
Nope. I can reduce the damage dealt to you by 1d12 plus 2. So I roll it. I reduce it by 10.
Yay!
So he takes 1 point of damage.
That's much better.
He's still not looking great, but he's no longer below half. Okay. Level 2. Level 2. That's the end of the Uncag's turn. Callie's turn, seeing that she kind of got away with her spell scot-free, she will run... Well, actually, you can decide what she does. Does she spend a spell slot or use a cantrip?
I think you would use a cantrip here.
Okay. So then she basically... The bunker wall is too tall for her to shoot over,
yeah,
so she runs behind you.
Out, and then
and she will cast Firebolt.
Okay.
Because Evocation Wizard, that's what they have.
That's what you get.
That is a 19 to hit. Certainly hits.
Woohoo!
The Firebolt deals 5 points of fire damage. The Ankeg had 4 hit points left.
Yay!
It is slain.
MVP.
As the Ankeg falls, the fire burning through its body from head to toe, you hear Callie say, "That's the way we do it in Augur City! Get fucked!" And that's the end of the combat, which means, as you are here, the bodies of the Ankeg slowly begin to turn to blue shimmering light as they evaporate.
Yeah, that's cool.
Additionally, so long as you loiter in the room, you heal 1 health point per minute.
Okay.
And the portcullis opens. And as all of you are kind of standing about and recovering, Stoic says, "That was pretty good, huh? Not too bad for the first bout. I think maybe we worked on getting better equipment for a few of us." He kind of looks down at your mace.
Yeah. I could get a better one.
It's not to worry for now, I mean, you definitely hurling that stone or whatever it was. That looked very, very impactful. Did you see that? That giant bug, it like recoiled.
Yeah, that was fun. That's a gift from my patron. Pull up the magic and just...
I don't mean to discount your bopping stick, but maybe keep to throwing rocks.
The bopping stick is not as good. That is definitely true. But I can get a better bopping stick.
You will make that happen. And as Stoic turns from you, Sabratha steps up by Stoic, and Stoic says, "By the way, thank you for the healing. That could have been a much more awkward situation."
And Callie, wait, you were not kidding about the big booms. Good job with throwing that fire.
I told you.
You did.
I'm a woman of many talents. And most of them are burning things.
Yeah. Definitely.
As Persh enters the room, he says, "You all did mighty fine for the first bout. It looks like you worked together well enough. But it's dinner time, so I'm going to kick you out."
Yeah. I was gonna say let's maybe go grab a bite to eat, but I do think that worked very well, especially since we hadn't worked together before like that. So good job, team.
And everyone's kind of... It seems like morale is high. Everyone seems pretty content in how that worked out. And Sabratha says, "I can see this working just fine."
For sure.
Now, to the mess hall. I'm starving.
Yeah.
And as you all kind of file out, that's where we're going to stop tonight's session.
Makes sense. That was fun. What a fun team of everybody's loud except Skullnut, but
yes.
But it's a fun little team, and it's got a lot of damage output in it.
Yes, you do. You guys do a lot of damage. Okay. I hope you had a good time, and to anybody listening, I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you, and good night.
Thank you.